Hi, my name's Mark, one of the pastors at Trillium. Last week we were talking about getting crushed in life. Getting your foot crushed, getting your heart crushed, getting your reputation crushed. Another way to get crushed in life is to discover that what you thought was true isn't really true after all. That can be a hard lesson to learn on a whole number of levels. It's hard to discover that what you put your faith and your trust in turns out to be faulty or flawed. And it's a sobering moment for us. The Apostle Paul got crushed on the way to Damascus when he discovered that what he thought was true ultimately wasn't. See, he was going to Damascus with a warrant, an arrest warrant. He was going there to persecute the early Christians in Damascus. And on the way, this white light comes upon him, drives him to the ground. He cries out to God for rescue, and he hears the voice of God coming back as Jesus' voice. Jesus asks him, Paul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? Why are you persecuting me? And in that moment, Saul discovers that his world is turned upside down. What he thought was an abomination to God, the whole Jesus movement, turns out to be, in fact, a God-sanctioned, God-blessed reality. And Saul's whole life falls apart in that moment. He's blinded physically. He's disorientated and confused personally. It's going to take him a number of years to come back from this moment. He's gotten crushed profoundly in life. What he thought was true is no longer the case. I think this can happen to all of us. It does happen to all of us in life. Nicodemus is a character from the Gospel of John. And in chapter 3, he comes to Jesus looking for something. He's in need of something. There's a profound need in his life. He's actually a revered teacher. He's a Jewish rabbi, a scholar, a Pharisee. His whole life is committed to teaching people about God, yet the immediacy of the connection with God seems to be lacking in him. And so he comes to Jesus. They have this interesting conversation back and forth. I'll summarize it this way. Here's how I think the conversation goes. Nicodemus, how do I become a child of God? Jesus, it's a gift from God. It's a mystery. Nicodemus, what do I need to do? What do I need to know? What do I need to learn? Jesus, it's a gift. There's nothing for you to do. Just receive. Nicodemus, how can this be? How can this be? It seems almost impossible that perhaps the most important element of my life, your life, the very essence of Jesus' mission in life, which is to give us power to become children of God, it's hard to believe that the only thing we need to do is learn how to receive. To learn how to receive. There must be a catch. There must be a catch in there. Well, at one level, there's no catch. We just have to learn how to receive the gift. Not an easy thing to do, I'll acknowledge to you. Learning to receive wholeheartedly with no reservations or worries is hard to do. But I will also acknowledge to you that in Jesus' offering of us the power to become children of God, there is a bit of a catch, too. See, we got to go to the Lord for the gift. We got to go to God for the gift. If we don't go to God for the gift's not going to be given to us. And as simple as it sounds, it's actually a very hard thing to do. I think many of us, probably most of us, find it very difficult to go to God. I think we'll hunker down in our naturalistic way of living. We'll live within our natural limitations or sensibilities or inclinations to the bitter end if we can. If we can get through this life without having to engage in anything that goes beyond our natural instincts, I think we'd be content. It's only when we get crushed in life and we realize those naturalistic inclinations aren't going to get us to where we want to go that we run into trouble. I think it's in those places that we finally do learn how to go to God. I mean, people do go to God in prayer and they ask for something from God, but how often do we ever go away feeling that we've been really blessed or have a gift been given to us? And yet there's God in the scriptures holding out God's hands to us with the gifts, the rich gifts. We go away empty-handed, cursing life or even cursing God, believing that God has abandoned us when all along our Father in heaven has been waiting to put his arms around us or to welcome us home again. How can that be? How can that be? I think part of it is that our hands are so full of stuff. We're so committed to a way of life that we don't know how to receive. We don't even have the space to receive. So part of the catch of of getting the gift from God, I suppose, is learning how to let go of what we already have, what we already know. And that often happens in those crushing experiences that we begin to rethink or basically re-question our life the way it's been currently operating. You know, Nicodemus is almost there. He really is much closer than he realizes. And in fact, by the end of the gospel, I think he's come. He's come to the Lord. And I imagine that many of you are much closer to receiving that holy gift of God, of becoming a child of God, of having God wake up in you. You're probably really close. You don't realize how close you are. It just means learning how to let go what's in our hands and open them in a very gentle and even needy way to God, to have empty hands before the Lord, vulnerable hands, so that we might receive the gift. And I'm thinking I might be closer than I realize too. I think I'm on the verge of something too. I want to bring my empty, needy, vulnerable hands to God and wait for the gift to be given to me. So maybe I'll see you there. Maybe you and I will see each other before the throne, waiting to receive the gift that changes everything.